Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pin, and this is our snack for the journey. And the snack this week is in the book of Judges, and we didn't have time to go to the details to talk about all the judges. It's one verse here, one verse there. It's just to give you a taste of the book. My suggestion and challenge for you is to go there and read the book, and you're going to find beautiful stories there. You have the Deborah that we mentioned. We have the Gideon story. That is a beautiful story that we didn't even touch on his life, and other stories. But there is a beautiful story that everybody knows. That story is the story of Samson. The story of Samson, the strongest man that ever lived. And it's a beautiful story. It's a story of a life that God called him from his birth to serve him and to destroy his enemies, because he was a judge. So the goal from God, if you read right at the beginning of the story of Samson, the mission of Samson is to destroy, to defeat his enemies. And he is a mess. He is a womanizer, and he got in trouble with Delilah. You all know the story, but it's not only with her, with other ladies too. So he was always fighting because of those circumstances in his life. He always fighting the Philistines, always, and defeating them. That was his mission. That's what God wanted him to do. Finally, he tells the story, and he tells his secret. And not only his secret, but he gave up his secret, that with the hair, because he was a Nazarene, and so he could not drink strong drink. He could not touch deadly people. He could not do anything. There's rules for them in the law of Moses, and he could not shave his hair. And finally, Delilah overcome him in the sense that convinced him to tell the whole thing. He said, I'm dedicated to the Lord. And he gave up the whole thing, and they shaved his head. And then he could not win. It's not just because of the hair, it's because of the dedication of his life, and he gave up. He was arrested, he put to do the work. And then he repented, and the people, the Philistines, they grabbed all the Philistines, the leaders, the generals, the kings, because they were cities, and they bring everybody together to the temple to make a big party because they got Samson, and they bring him in, and his hair is already long again, and they make fun of him, they worship their gods and all that kind of. So the power of the Philistines were there. Everybody that was rich, important, and powerful was there with their families and everybody. So it's everybody. It was a lot of people. And Samson asked to the boy that was with him, the person that was with him, to guide him to the columns. And we all know the story. He was blind. He was blinded when he was arrested. And so the person took him to the columns, and he pushed the columns, and he asked God, saying, Lord, let me die with these people here. And look what the Bible has to say with that. It's verse 30. Judge 16, verse 30. Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. Then he pushed with all his might, and down came the temple on the rulers and all the people in it. Thus he killed many more when he died than while he lived. And he killed a lot of people when he was alive. But this last stand here is the stand of someone fulfilling his mission all the way to the last drop of his life. He knows that he's going to die, and he says that let me die with the Philistine. He knows that he's going to die but his mission is more important than his life. And with all his failures that in our eyes, they are failures, he fulfilled his mission. With all his problems in his life, in his personal life, he was able to fulfill his mission. And it's very important. It's interesting that the Philistines, they're going to show up again in the power and create trouble for Israel when Saul and David were kings. So it took a while for the Philistines to recuperate from this defeat. Solomon, he put a lot of stress and destruction there that day. And the Philistine paid a high price. And Samson did a great job in that sense to fulfill the mission that God gave to him. And sometimes it's going to happen with us. We're not going to be the best person, the best this, the best that, but we have a mission. We're going to do the mission that God put in our hands, and we're going to do the best that we can with the gifts and talents that we have. And sometimes, we're going to have problems. Yes, we're going to have problems. But some of us will be able to focus in the mission and not in the problems. And they will work on the mission. And seems that Samson did just that. And it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. If you have time, go there. Those chapters, they have the whole story there. I hope you enjoy the book of Judges, and I hope you have a great time reading this book. And this is our snack for the journey. God bless you.